Hello, 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 hello. What's going on? Sorry, I threw the message out in the Discord. Hope you guys saw it. I got home late, so it just took me a second. Took me a second to get here. So I'm a little late. We're still gonna try to push forward on this thing and get this thing going. We'll see. You know. Oh, I know. It's two separate times during one day. Do I have to stare at myself and uh and stare at myself looking into a camera, huh? I'll tell you guys what. My daughter's tennis coach thought it would be amusing to do. First of all, she's getting so much better. It's scary, and I'm getting older, and she's zipping them at me now. Like she hasn't been playing since like she just started like earlier this year, and she hasn't even had a coach like that long. You know what I'm saying? Like only like 4 or 5 months, and she has gone from like I barely hit the ball over the net, and I'm scared to hit the ball to just rocketing the ball at us. It's something to see. Yeah, it's there was a couple like where she hit him, and I was like I can't move that fast anymore, right? Like I just can't move that fast anymore. It's just not gonna happen, right? I just kind of just like it hit at me, and I was like, okay, well that's a thing now. So like, and it's funny too because I don't play tennis, right? But I'm also like super competitive. Um, so sorry about that. Yeah, so like I'm really competitive, even though like I don't know how to play tennis, right? And so I'm out there playing, and so like now that she's hitting the ball hard at me, now I'm trying to hit the ball back at her, but I don't know what I'm doing, right? So I don't know how to hit the ball hard back at her like correctly. So I'm just hitting the ball hard. Right? That's about all I got. Anyways, at the end of the practice, the coach um the coach was like pretty much gonna be like, oh, like we like do some like agility stuff, like, oh, this is what we do for like conditioning and stuff. And I don't know, he's like, let me show you like what we do for conditioning. And I was like, okay. So he started doing this thing. I'm like, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be doing this at all. I shouldn't be doing like I was like I actually told her mom, I was like, that is the one and only one of those things that you're getting out of me. Like that is the like that's all you're getting out of me. So anyways, my knees hurt. That's all I'm pretty much saying. What I'm really saying is my knees hurt. All right, for you guys that are seeing me on one specific live, which would be my portrait live on YouTube. Yes, it looks a little weird. Yes, I know that. Um, Sorry, it's gonna have to work for you for a couple days until I get my new equipment coming in. For every other stream out here, specifically the ones that are in a landscape form, it's looking really good. So for the rest of y'all, you're welcome because it's looking a lot better. If if at some point you don't like the way the crop video looks, then I will say, especially if you're looking, uh, you know, watching on your TV or like an iPad or something like that. check out one of the other streams. Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, just I'll let you know that. Besides that, welcome in. We're just playing with some stuff until I get my new camera in.
Insane.
Thank you. We're just playing with some stuff until my equipment gets in. So my new equipment will be in on Friday. So we'll be ready to rock and roll on we'll be ready to rock and roll by next week for sure. But welcome everybody in. Velvet, thank you so much for the super chat to start the day out. Well, not start the day out, start this live out. Thoughts on the nuclear family, is it racist? I don't think a nuclear family is racist. I think that the theology behind a nuclear family is racist, right? I don't even know if it's like, I guess you could say it's kind of just like systemic within it, you know? I guess is the best way to put it. The same people that talk about, talk about the nuclear family, or the same people, it's always conservatives, right? And it's always a husband, wife, 2.5 kids, a dog, a white picket fence, right? And there's never any like room outside of that, right? Like there's never any room for anybody in the LGBTQ plus community. There's never any room for mixed race couples or anything like that. So do I think that, like, if you look at like what like the definition of what a nuclear family is that racist? No, but I think the ideology around it kind of is inherently. Does that make sense? I've never been asked that question before. This is my first time ever thinking about that. And that's like really true. Yeah, I've never actually thought about it. And I'll be honest with y'all, like, and you guys know this from well, shit, next year it'll be 2 years of watching me do this, right? For you guys who have been around that long. Like I don't just sit around and think about like racism. I don't just sit around and think about it. That's not my forte. There are some really awesome creators that do, right? And I think that they're very awesome. Hell, I listen to a lot of them, right? That talk about, things that are racist, things that are, that are specifically, that fall with, outside of race lines and stuff like that. And I think that those are great, right? I really do. I'm not hating on any of them, but it's not mine. I understand that race and politics are inherently entwined, right? Because they truly are, right? Race and politics are inherently intertwined, right? But it doesn't mean because you understand one that you understand like just because I spend my time studying politics, right? That is what I do. I study politics, I study policy, I study, current events and the happenings of what's going on, right? I don't always look at those and just see how I can see those through the lens of race. I don't look at it that way. That's just not the way my brain works. If your brain does work like that, I have no issue with that. That's totally cool. All right. That's not how my brain works. And I can't help it. So, anyways, hopefully that answers the question. And if I answered it poorly and you guys don't like my answer, it's the best one I got. So deal with it. It's literally the best one I got. And the only one I got too. And no, I will not be taking further questions on the matter. Velvet, your question was just fine. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. Well, we're about to get this thing started. Really appreciate y'all. I'm already seeing some phone calls coming in and getting this thing moving. There is one person on, a guest box person that I did tell one of my mods that I would bring up if they are here. I have no idea if they're here, but he's gonna let me know when they show up. So if they show up, and if they do, then I'll bring them up. And if they don't, well, that's totally fine too. I don't got too much of an issue there. Oh, it is definitely acting weird on that too, and that's really unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Oh well. Let's get this thing moving. Let's get this thing moving. We'll see how it's going. I may have to switch back off of the, switch back off the portrait live later, but I might have to turn that off later. We'll see what's up. We'll just see how it goes. This is like a tester day live. Anyways, again, y'all, if you guys support Trump and you guys would like to come and have a conversation, then do that. Yep. Hello, how are you?
Hello?
Hi, it's echoing.
Hi.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 21 years old.
Awesome. Are you sure about that?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Are you sure about that? Saw that one coming from a million. Oh, you couldn't even hear him? Oh, well, guess what? That's better for you. That was better for you. Oh yeah. See, I had him muted on TikTok. That was a giant waste of time. Hello, how are you? I'm doing great. How old are you?
32.
I accidentally had him muted. I didn't even mean to. It was just I had it muted from the last live. Anyways, do you support Trump?
I do.
Awesome. Why is that?
Why do I support Trump?
Yeah, why do you support Trump?
His prison reform is really good.
You called earlier.
Yeah, I was going to bring up your Instagram.
Oh, okay.
You should
Yeah, I talked to you last night. Thank you. I do appreciate you coming back so I can block you, though. That was very sweet of you. I love when people come back so they can, so I can block them. Super helpful. Oh yeah, big fan. Big fan. That dude came on my live last night and tried to talk to me for a very long time about how much he liked one of my Instagram photos. Hello, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 38, man.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir. I voted for him twice.
Oh, why not the third time?
Well, to be honest with you, I think in the Talmud it says that non-Jews aren't human, and Donald Trump...
Next guest, and we'll keep moving on. Why do they all sound the same? Because they all sound the same. Hello, how are you? Goodbye. The reason why they sound... That was a great question. That was a good question we got there in the chat. Someone said, why do they all sound the same besides me? Because they all sound the same besides me. Hello, how are you?
Hello?
Hi, how old are you?
34.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. Why is that?
Because you are the biggest bitch.
Guys, if you guys think you're like bothering me or like, dude, I deal with you all day. Not one of you guys has come up and said one thing original ever. Okay? Not one of you has ever come up and said anything original. Okay? You've never had an original thought in your brain. Mystic, thank you so much for the gifted membership. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you? Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, how old are you?
18.
You're 18?
Yeah,
What year were you born?
2006.
2006. Did you vote for Trump?
Actually, I wasn't 18 yet, but I would have voted for Trump.
You would have?
Yeah.
That doesn't really surprise me.
Okay, what do you say that? I'm just curious.
Oh, well, I mean, somebody who's never like had to work for anything and had everything given to them by their parents and still lives under mommy and daddy's roof and just
Whoa. I
goes
don't
to
mean
high school all the time. You know, I assume that, yeah, probably Trump would be really good for you. I mean, he did
Can I
like,
get in really quick?
no, you asked me a question and I'm in the middle of answering it.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, thank you so much, sweetheart.
Yeah, okay. Good.
Yeah. So it's somebody who literally was the target group of people for Donald Trump. He literally specifically went out of his way to make sure he targeted people about your age, right? People with probably very little to no understanding of politics or how it works. I bet you probably, like have like a crypto portfolio and all sorts of other stuff like that. Okay. But I do just think that that's really like unfortunate, right? Because Donald Trump is selling off your future, right? And you're supporting him doing it, which I think is pretty crazy.
Okay. So I think it's interesting how you came at me very aggressive. I didn't say anything about my life, nothing. You say I live with my parents, not true. You say I've never experienced anything in the world. I bought my first car when I was 15. I paid for everything since then. Had my own apartment since I was 16.
I don't care if you bought your first car when you were 2, okay, and you got your first and you bought your first house when you were 5.
So let me ask you this.
Doesn't change anything of what I said, sir.
So what do you believe? Like, so for an example, I believe it was yesterday or the day before. He struck that boat from Venezuela. It was bringing in, illegal stuff. I don't exactly know what it was. I believe it was drugs. What do we think about that? Or striking Iran?
What do we think about that? Why don't you tell me what you think about it? I know what I think about it.
What I think about it? I think that's why I'm asking you. What I think about it, I think, showing the dominance of our country, showing who we are and what we are and who, we can be. Biden didn't end any wars in his presidency. Actually started new wars. He didn't start, but he was involved.
Then neither did Donald Trump.
Neither did he what?
Well, Donald Trump started a whole bunch of wars.
So what did Trump start?
Israel, Iran.
How did he start that war? Hello? Yo.
How do you mean, how did he start that war? Okay, well then I'll turn that right back around to you. How did Biden start the war? How did Biden start the war between Ukraine and Russia?
I didn't say he started it. That's not what I meant. I just said he was involved in it.
How was he involved in it?
He could have ended it so much faster. So Ukraine and Russia, now that they've reached a ceasefire.
They have not reached a ceasefire.
Why is that? They have reached a ceasefire.
Oh, okay, I'd love to see that evidence.
It might still be going right now, but they were at a ceasefire for a
few
weeks
were,
there.
Sir, they have been in over 25 ceasefires since this war started. Okay, and they haven't held to a singular one of them, including ceasefires that happened under the Trump administration and the Biden administration. But they are not currently under a ceasefire, nor have they been under a ceasefire in Donald Trump's term on this term at all.
So, okay, that's false. But okay.
Okay, sir. Where can you show me a reference to show where they were on a ceasefire?
Where can I? I mean, I can go look for it if you want me to.
You should have done that before you falsely stated that they were under a ceasefire. You should have looked it up first and then made the claim, sir. But if you're making, I have looked it up. I've studied it intensively, and that's how I know that they're not in a ceasefire. That's how I was able to tell you they've been in over 25 ceasefires. When did this war start? When did this war start, sir?
When did which war start?
Ukraine and Russia.
Ukraine and Russia. I couldn't tell you the exact date.
So you can't tell me when it started, but you're saying that Biden started.
I can tell you the year.
Sure. What year?
I believe the Ukraine and Russia, like the war, the current war. 2022, I believe, or 2021, maybe. I believe it's 2022, though.
Yeah. Try 2014.
2014?
2014.
Yeah, that's false.
Yes, sir. So 2014, the Ukraine and Russia war started with the Russian invasion of.
But it did not start,
sir.
So active soldiers is what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
People dying.
Yes, sir. Then. People were dying all the way through Obama's administration and through Trump's first administration with the attacks on the Donbass.
So why did the full? I guess they declared war in 2020. I believe it was.
They declared war in 2014. The war never ended. Okay, and there was an escalation in 2022. But the war started in 2014, and
Why do you
fighting
think-
didn't stop that entire time, sir. So please, if you're going to tell me about how I need to look up something about the war and you don't know when the war started, that seems like you're on a really bad start.
So look, Russia didn't push into Ukraine until 2022 or 2021.
Then would you like to explain
the
the invasion and annexation of Crimea?
Sorry.
Then would you like to explain to me the invasion and annexation of Crimea?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know you don't.
Okay. I don't know. That's not. So basically, they push into Ukraine because Biden won't do anything about it. How many times did Biden meet with
Sir,
President?
sir, do not try to move it back to something that you think that you understand. Okay?
What do you mean?
Crimea,
Crimea.
Crimea, okay, is a region and part of Ukraine, okay, that Russia invaded and annexed in 2014.
Okay.
Okay. So when you say troops going in and people being killed, yes, that started in 2014.
Okay, let me flip it on you. Where can you show me that? Let me ask you that, and I'll go look for it. I'll admit if I'm wrong. I'm trying to
Literally, I'll just pull up an AI just for fun. Just type it into Google. In February and March of 2014, Russia invaded the Crimea Peninsula, part of Ukraine, and then annexed it. This took place in the relative power vacuum immediately following the Revolution of Dignity. It marked the beginning of the Russo-Ukrainian War.
So how many deaths were there?
Sir, there have been deaths all the way through. It has continued to be deaths all the way since then, sir.
Let me look.
All right.
Well, I know, but that's what I'm curious. So I really am. How many deaths were there, like in between 2014 and 2022?
Tons of them, sir. There was fighting all the way through the Donbass region, all the way through the end of Obama's term, and through Trump's first term, and through Biden's term, going up until the re-escalation, including multiple ceasefires that failed in between there.
So I'm finding that it's not. So about 14,000 people were 14,000. That's just what Google says. 14,000 people were killed in between 2014 and 2022. So from current to now, I'm sorry, not current to now, current to 2022, it says February. So it's February 2022. I believe it's got to be over, I'm sure, 1 million. Well, maybe not 1 million. I'm sure
yes, sir. That's what I said when I said in 2022 there was an escalation.
Right.
There was an escalation of the war. Okay. So if there was 14,000 people before, and then people started getting killed at a higher rate, in war terms, we call that an escalation. Okay.
Yeah, right. An escalation. So people are dying. At the end of the day, people are dying, right?
Yep. People were dying before. People are dying now. Yep. People are dying. People died today, I'm sure.
Hundreds of thousands of more people are dying now.
Yes, that's what happens with an escalation. Yeah.
Right. And why would he escalate it? Why would he not escalate it under Trump's first term and escalate it now, or not now, 2022?
Oh, first of all, I don't need the first of all, I can pretty much answer that question. But even without answering that question, I don't need to know why Putin would or would not do something to know that Biden didn't do anything. Okay. Sir, stop. Okay. What I am saying is, you said Biden started the war. Then you changed your mind and said, "Oh, well, Biden didn't stop the war." And then I started talking about that. And then you hold on, sir. Sir, this is why I normally don't talk to 18-year-olds. You guys do not have the patience to let me get through a sentence.
Go ahead.
I am teaching you. Okay. Remember when I said that, like, you were probably in high school, like, you know, like, not you. Maybe you should have stayed and listened. Okay. I'm trying to teach you. Listen.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, awesome. So what I was saying was, okay, the reason why a Russian president who has literally threatened nuclear war like 20 freaking times, who committed human rights violations, who literally slaughters his own fucking people, who kills his political appointees, if you want me to explain to you why Putin, the ex-KGB agent, does something, okay, that would be an effort in futility because you don't know why he did something and I don't know why he did something and nobody knows why he does certain things because he's Putin, and that's the problem, is that nobody knows why he does things. That's why he's so fucking dangerous, okay?
Yeah,
but if you
continue.
If you want to give the reasons around why possibly he would have done that, there's lots of reasons why he could have done that. One was the, introduction that, the actual possibility or a higher possibility of Ukraine being able to join NATO after meeting all of the qualifications and having the, having most of the qualifications met for them to be able to join. That's a big reason. Second of all, they don't want to lose their natural resources within Ukraine. They don't want to lose their warm water port. Trump was literally very, kind and giving to Russia. So probably not the best time to escalate the situation with the United States, where Biden was very tough on Russia and was actually strong on Russia, right? And so probably probably feel more backed in a corner when you have a strong leader versus a weak leader. There's lots of reasons why.
And so, okay, so did you, and I want you to be like, so just flat out with me here. You called Trump a weak leader and President Biden a strong leader.
When it came to Russia, 100%. Yeah.
Okay, and just Russia, or are you just talking about in general?
Well, we're talking about Russia. So I'm talking about Russia.
That's why I'm asking you a question. Yeah, that's why I'm asking you a question.
Yeah, I don't speak in your like crazy generalities, dude. We're talking about Russia. He was strong on Russia.
I said in general, was he strong president? I'm just curious. what you're gonna say about that.
Sir, on which topic? I might answer different depending on which topic you
general.
have.
So we're talking about overall.
Okay, I'm not answering that question, so.
Because it's a pretty obvious question.
No, because if you can't articulate what you're trying to ask me and you just want to ask me like a simple fucking question, just because as a simpleton, I'm not gonna fucking do that, dude. I'm sorry. Is he strong? Well, he was strong on foreign policy. He was very, very strong on Russia. Okay. He was very strong on freaking, the countries in South America. He was very strong on all sorts of different things. He was very strong, especially with Congress, as far as being able to push immigration stuff. He was very strong when it came to a lot of stuff like that. Could he have been stronger in certain areas? Yeah, absolutely. He probably could have been stronger with Congress on making sure they passed immigration policy. He probably could have been stronger on, stopping asylum seeking earlier, probably signing some executive orders when it came to certain things like that. Right. He could have been stronger with Congress when it came to, making sure that we do things like codify Roe versus Wade while he had the ability to, and not doing that. There are places that he could have been stronger, and there's places where he was very strong. I am not going to try to generalize it down to an elementary level because you can't understand that.
Okay, let's jump to immigration then.
No, let's not. And you explained to me, okay, we were talking about Ukraine and Russia. Okay, and I have no will to pivot off of that. We are sitting directly in spot, and again, I'm kind of teaching you what other people should have. Okay,
teaching me? I don't think you're teaching me anything.
I'm teaching you something right now, sir. You don't know when a war you're arguing about started.
Okay, I said it escalated, and it did escalate.
No, I said it escalated. You said it started. I had to convince you that it escalated. I have literally taught you that it escalated, and now I've taught you so well that now you're claiming that was your standpoint.
I said full scale is the words I used. So, and which is true, and that's, I believe, when he was doing airstrikes, and I know he was doing airstrikes, and I don't believe there was nuclear stuff yet.
He's been claiming nuclear stuff since 2000. He's been claiming nuclear stuff since longer than you've been alive.
No, I said he didn't, he's not nuking, he wasn't nuking Ukraine, is what I was saying.
He's not nuking Ukraine right now.
Yeah, obviously he's been claiming it since a long time ago. And he hasn't done shit, and he wouldn't under Trump's administration.
And he didn't do it under Biden's administration.
Yeah, but he full scale, there's, the word I used, the war, because he wasn't scared that Biden would put a stop to it. Just like Trump said, people are dying at the end of the day, and these people have families. And
then why hasn't he stopped it?
Mothers and daughters. Why hasn't he stopped it? Because it's not as easy as snapping your fingers.
Oh, so I get it. No, okay, hold on. I get it. When Putin invades a foreign country, okay?
Yeah. Yep.
A sovereign country, and Biden stands up to that leader, okay? He should have been able he should have been able to snap his fingers and just make Putin not do it. But when Trump's in office and doesn't end it, even though he promised to end it, okay, that all of a sudden that is he just couldn't snap his fingers. So when Biden didn't stop it, It's Biden being weak, but when Trump doesn't stop it, it's just not that easy.
Okay. So first year, by the way, into his term. So no, it's not that easy. And Biden couldn't have either. He couldn't have either. But how many times did he meet with Putin? I've asked you this question 100 times.
You have not asked me that question 100 times. You've asked me twice,
I've
and you've
tried
asked
to,
me
but
while
I
I'm in the
can't
middle
do
of
that.
my sentences.
All right, go for it.
Yeah, I don't. How many times did Biden meet with Putin?
Yeah.
0, thank God.
Right. Thank you. But
No,
but he's
thank
so
God
strong.
that he didn't.
so
You do
wrong.
realize? Do you even realize who Putin just met with?
You know the B-2 bomber? Yes.
Who did Putin just fucking go, like, just show off pictures of, with holding hands, being all chummy, literally locking arms and fucking like skipping down fucking steps with? Who did he just do that with?
You realize Trump did the same thing.
Who did he just do that with?
You do. You realize Kim Jong-un.
You're not
you realize
answering
he did
the
that-
question,
he
sir.
did
Who
that
did
thing.
Putin just do
Both
that
of
with?
them. Both the Chinese president and the North Korean president.
And who else?
So did Trump. And so did Trump.
And who else?
As far as I know there's others. As far as I know, that's who.
So just to be clear, okay?
But you realize Trump did the
Sir,
same thing.
sir. I know you want to pivot, okay?
I'm not-
I know you want to pivot. Try to have some patience, okay? All right, sport? All right,
Who the fuck
cool.
are you calling sport?
I'm just trying to teach you
You're
some
a
manners
goofball.
like your dad should have, okay? So,
Kind of funny.
yeah, just trying to teach you some manners like your dad should have, okay? Not a
like
big
this
deal,
guy.
all right? So, here's what happened. Putin has been ostracized by all Western world leaders because he's murdering people and he's wanted by the international courts for war crimes. Okay? So, bad guy. Okay? And so all the Western world, all the countries that are trying to, that don't want him to continue murdering people, okay, we're like, hey, we're not going to meet with Putin until you stop and stop what you're doing, until we get a ceasefire, until you freaking stop committing this horrible, atrocious
We're
act.
not going to meet with him.
Okay? And then
Yeah.
Trump was like, you know what? I'll do it anyway. Oh, but that's a bad idea. Well, I'll do it anyway. Okay?
Why is it a bad
Then
idea?
he does it because it legitimizes Putin, which I was getting to, which again, if you had been taught some patience. Yeah. So it legitimized Putin. It legitimized his stance. And Trump literally came out of the meeting. Okay? Trump literally came out of the meeting spouting fucking Russian propaganda points, saying that we don't need a ceasefire in order to have peace. Okay? And then Putin then takes that and runs to all the other countries that are fighting against the United States and is like, we got him. We're good to go. He's
First
fallen
of all,
right into my
nobody's
hand.
fighting.
He's melted right into my hand, just like he did his first term. But guess what's still happening? Guess what's still happening? He's still shooting. He's still hitting Kiev. He blew up a U.S. factory the next day. Okay.
He didn't blow up shit, and not one Marine has died.
He
Not one.
didn't blow up shit. Do I need to pull up where he blew up a U.S. factory?
When's the last time a U.S. soldier died, or a Marine, Marine Corps, anything, military,
I don't fucking know. What does that have to do with what we're talking about?
anything? Because people are dying. At the end of the day, that's the problem.
How many
The problem
U.S.
is not,
Marines
oh,
died in fucking Ukraine under the Biden administration?
How many U.S. Marines died
In Ukraine under the Biden administration?
I couldn't tell you. It's a war we
Oh,
shouldn't be
because
fighting.
it's
not our
fucking
war.
zero.
It's not our war.
What are you talking about?
I hope not. God forbid.
Then why are you arguing like, oh, no U.S. Marines are dying in Ukraine right now? Yeah, no shit. They weren't to begin with.
Humans are humans at the end of the day.
Yes,
We're all
humans
God-
are humans. You are very correct. And while the
These
rest of the
Ukrainians
Western
and
world,
Russians
including
shouldn't
Biden,
die.
and while the rest of the Western world, including Biden, understood, okay, that Putin is going to continue killing Ukrainians until he is forcibly stopped. Biden, on the other hand, invites him over for fucking tea and starts repeating his talking points and holding hands and hanging out with him. He's making friends with the guy doing the killing.
You think it's friends?
Yes.
You don't think he's got a purpose for this?
If he has one, he sure as fuck hasn't shown it. Because has the war escalated or de-escalated since Trump got back in office?
The war de-escalated.
Escalated.
So much.
Escalated by a long shot. Escalated by a long shot. Look at the freaking at the death tolls in Ukraine last year, at the end of last year, and then look at them this year. Escalated. Extremely escalated, especially attacks on civilian targets.
Give me a second. I'm looking it up. Wait, hold on.
Anyways, y'all, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. I really, really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. If you're new here, if you guys like to support, please consider supporting the live. I do have super chats open. I put them on the screen. We have some fun and all that sort of stuff with those. Or if you'd like to help me with my little live gift goals and stuff like that, that's really cool too. I really appreciate y'all. Well, this guy's trying to figure that out. Penny Pincher, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. So I'm very impressed at how patient you can be with people like this. Well, it's you know.
Yeah, I've been nothing but respectful. These people that support you are kind of crazy.
Yeah, you've been everything but respectful, and more importantly, just confident and wrong, which is really the most disrespectful thing you can be. Like, it's one thing to just be wrong and not know what you're talking about. I can live with people that are like, you know, that don't know what they're talking about and are cool with just not knowing what they're talking about. Okay, but you don't know what you're talking about, and you're coming up here confidently like you do. Okay, you are literally still arguing a war with me that I had to inform you when it started.
Tried to bring you to immigration, but you didn't want to. So.
Oh no, you tried to move it to immigration when you were getting walked.
Okay, whatever makes you feel better.
Yeah,
I don't Russian though. I don't study this Russian war and between Russia and Ukraine.
Or have even Googled a single thing about it.
No, I don't. You're right. You're right. I don't.
You're right. So maybe you should do that before you try to talk about it, okay?
But at the end of the day, people are dying.
At the end of the day, guys, throw my at the end of the day freaking emote in there. If you guys got it. At the end of the day, that's on the bingo card too if you guys are playing bingo.
So what do you want to do? You want me to change it to immigration so we can
No, I'm going to just change
that?
I'm just going to change it.
I want to talk about that as well.
Well, sir, then you should have chosen that to be a first talking point, because I've been talking to you for 22 minutes. If you think I'm switching topics with you after what just happened in that conversation, you're crazy.
I don't have anything to prove. Like I said, we're talking about a war that does not involve, us. I don't want people to be dying at the end of the day. I don't think you do either. I don't think anyone does.
You brought it up.
Yeah, I know. I did. Actually, no, I brought up our status of the military and protecting our country and keeping it
You don't
safe.
even know what you started with. All right, man. Well, I hope you have a good one, okay?
Iranian bomb.
All right. We're going to keep this thing moving on. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Stacy, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Said, Putin playing Trump like a fiddle. And that's for damn sure. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Awesome. How old are you?
28.
Awesome. You support Trump?
Yes.
Awesome. Why is that?
Just like the guy overall, his policies overall for immigration, for foreign policy, for the economy, everything.
Awesome. Which economic policy are you the biggest fan of?
I actually wanted to talk about Ukraine and Russia, what you guys were just discussing. Well, can I ask you one thing about that topic?
No. All right,
Did Biden ever try to talk to Putin?
He already asked me that question and already asked and answered, buddy.
Yeah, he didn't really, though.
Yeah, again, question asked already, question answered already.
So he did try to talk to Putin and end the war?
He met with Putin.
When? What year?
2021, I think another time after.
But
we're going to that, sir. Again, I've already explicitly talked about this literally less than 5 minutes ago, where I explained how meeting with Putin isn't a good thing. This is why I said I didn't want to talk about Russia, Ukraine, because you literally have me up here
so when Obama
repeating.
Met with Putin, that wasn't a good thing. World leaders have to meet with world leaders.
No, they don't.
Done. Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Okay, so you just want him to keep
you think that?
Ukraine?
So you think that we just all is he is he stop bombing Ukraine? He's met with Putin twice. Has he stopped bombing Ukraine?
I'm asking you.
I'm asking you, sir. He's met with Putin
he started
twice.
a dialogue. Trump started a dialogue with him.
No, I asked you this. He met with Putin twice. Has he stopped bombing Ukraine?
He met with a bunch of world leaders, too.
Yes
They just
or
started the
no,
process
sir? Did
2
he
weeks
stop
ago.
bombing Ukraine?
Did he not meet with all the
Sir,
European leaders
I'm sorry.
2
I don't know
weeks
how
ago?
if you think how this works. You answer my question before you ask me anything.
Well, the war's calmed down since Trump and
It has
Trump got
not
in office.
actually. Specifically, the day after fucking Trump just met
Yep.
with him, they blew up a U.S. factory. Okay,
And?
the time before they had a huge bombardment on Kiev. The day
He's
after
making
Trump
an
freaking
effort to end
sir,
the war.
he's
He sat down with
escalating the
every
war.
European leader.
The war.
The leader of NATO
all right, sir.
gave him credit.
Well, I hope you have a good day. Okay.
You do too.
Fucking dude, if you're going to fucking come up here and try to talk about something, listen to what I just said first. Jesus Christ, I just answered all of these questions. Do your best to try to have a little bit of an attention span. Wild, dude. Anyways, phone lines are back open. Like asked and answered, bro. Hello, how are you? I'm doing excellent. Do you have a way of talking closer to your microphone? I can't hear you at all. Hello, how are you? Hello. Hello, how are you? I want to put this up on the screen for everybody, just so everybody can see it too. Hold on. You stand by.
All right.
This is the Ukrainian death toll by month. Okay? So everybody can see it. Hold on. I got to freaking move that over. Ukrainian death toll by month. Okay? You see how it's going down, 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 down. December, which was the last month of Biden. All right. 109 killed, 522 injured. Casualties of what is that? 631. Do you see where we're at right now? 1,628. 16. The last time it was at 1,628, the last time it was at that level was June of 2022. And let me zoom in so that you guys can see, so you're not confused here. Okay? June of 2022 was the last time Ukrainian casualties was as high as it is now. So please, yes, please explain to me, okay, how him meeting with Putin is de-escalating the war. I'll wait. Anyways, what's going on? How old are you?
34.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, not really awesome.
Just let's have like a common sense talk about Ukraine. What do you think Ukraine war started?
Fucking God.
I don't want to talk. Those guys don't even understand the Ukraine war that they're trying to talk about before. Why do you think
Jesus
Ukraine war
fucking
started?
Christ.
What do you think it started?
Why don't you tell me? I'm tired of talking Ukraine. Why don't you just tell me?
NATO expanded in the 90s. Okay. Russia, the USSR back then, so they didn't want it. We still expanded. Putin said he's not going to allow Ukraine or other countries that border them to join NATO.
Then why
What
didn't he stop
happened
the
before
first
Ukraine
five?
war? I agree with you.
No,
He's
truthfully,
suicidal.
if that was the reason, if you're saying that the reason that it started, okay, was because he wasn't going to allow a country that was on his border to join NATO, then why didn't he stop the first five?
I agree.
No. It's
He
not
drew
an
a
I
line
and
and he
agree.
didn't act on it.
Then
But
that's
what
not the
happened?
reason.
But what happened before the Ukraine war started? What did Biden tell Ukraine?
The
They
Ukraine
can
raid
join
started
NATO.
in 2014. Biden wasn't president.
No, that was an invasion, and that ended.
Yes,
the Ukraine
every
war
war
started
has
under-
started with an invasion.
Right, but that ended. Like they were not fighting.
That was
the
not
rest of the
ended. That
term.
was on a
Fighting didn't
ceasefire.
start. Right.
The
And
war
then
was
what
still
did-
active.
And then what did Biden say to the world before Putin invaded
go ahead and
Ukraine?
tell me, what did Biden do?
He told the Ukrainian people they can join NATO.
No, because Biden doesn't have the ability to tell someone they can join NATO.
You don't think America
No.
has the ability to tell somebody to join NATO?
Nope.
The biggest, largest country in the
Yep,
world.
they can be the biggest, they can be the largest, they can be part of NATO, they can be a superpower, they can be all of those things. But the president of the United States
for every European
does
country.
not have the power to tell someone they can join NATO. Have you ever read like the articles of NATO?
I have. Yes, I've read the article. Not all of it, but I know what you're talking about on that.
All right, then what am I talking about?
Power. I understand we don't have the power as one country and have to be voted in.
Well, let me ask you a question. How many times has Ukraine tried to join NATO prior to this?
3.
3 times. And what happened?
Our presidents were smart and understood that there'd be a conflict, and we didn't.
Not at all. Not even close. Not even in the ballpark.
European nations wouldn't let them.
NATO would not let them because they didn't meet the qualifications under NATO. More specifically, in 2 of those cases, okay, they had actually pretty corrupt governments, especially in the early, like late 2000s or 2010s and stuff like that, when they tried to join. Yeah, no, they had an extra corrupt government, and because it was so corrupt, NATO didn't want them to join because they weren't able to fucking trust them. But it was not because the U.S. president said they couldn't join NATO. It was because they didn't meet the qualifications for NATO, okay? And now they did, okay? And so the group of nations that votes on whether somebody can join NATO, which, by the way, is not headed by the U.S. president, it's not even headed by the U.S.
It's to be dishonest, though, to say that the influence we have over the world, if we wanted Ukraine to join NATO, that everybody wouldn't fall in line and let them join NATO.
Yeah, I think that you're just freaking giving more power to the United States than the United States has even tried to flex or tried to even take. Okay, the reason why NATO, sir, NATO, they didn't meet the qualifications for NATO. Now they do. Okay, that's it.
What do you think? What do you think people support Trump?
Why do I think people support Trump?
Yeah.
Well, there's lots of reasons.
Look, let's just talk about the United States. Here's how I look at it, okay? I'm not a big Trump fan. I support Trump, but when Trump ran back in 2016, right, every politician on the right came out against Trump. Every politician on the left came out against Trump. And Trump still won. That's an outcry. We've been dealing with politicians, a two-party system in our country.
That's a reflex.
For hundreds of years.
It's not an outcry, it's a reflex.
Trump is not responsible. Trump is not responsible for our country's problems.
No, you want to forget 2 different things. It's not an outcry. Okay, well maybe I guess you could call it an outcry. But it is there's 2 things. There's 2 things. There's 2 things that you need to remember. Okay? About when Trump ran in his first term. Okay? 1, he was following the first ever black US American president. Okay. And the United States is very racist. Okay. Let's just call a duck a duck. The United States is very racist. Okay. And he was following the first ever black president. Second of all, he was running against the first woman ever to run on a major party ticket.
You have to, if you're going to be honest about Trump, you have to admit that was a bad politician to put up for the Democrat Party.
I'm not here to defend Hillary Clinton. Okay. Could not care less. Okay. I am saying, okay, he was running against the first woman to ever run on a major party ticket. And let's also be clear that he's only ever won twice, right? And both of those times that he won against the only 2 women who have ever run on a major party ticket in this country. The one time he lost was the only time he ran against a white man. Okay?
Kamala was a bad choice too. You have to admit that.
Sir. The only time he lost was the time he lost against a white man, and the 2 times that he won, he was running against women. Okay, Donald Trump was not a reflex, an outcry. It was not an outcry against the 2-party system. Okay, it was the outcry against women and black people in politics. That's what it was an
How
outcry
can you say
against.
it's not? That's not completely fair. Biden won because he was the vice president under Obama, so everybody thought Biden was going to be good for the Democrats. That's why he won. It has nothing to do with him
No,
being a
Biden
man,
won because
or
they
just
did.
taking
People
that
didn't
chance.
like Trump. Biden was a
And you say-
reflex of Trump. That's all that was.
And you say like racism, but those same people that elected Obama elected Trump. So why would they vote for a black person anyways? He won all the battleground states that Obama won. So those same voters that voted for Obama, the black man,
Sir, am I saying that?
voted for Trump.
Sir, yeah. So you're just skipping the misogyny part?
I'm not. But
Sir,
Kamala
it's not.
Harris,
Sir, it's not. It's not.
Hillary Clinton,
It's
y'all can't
not.
do
It's
better than
not.
that?
Sir, it's not one thing. It's everything. Okay, you're trying to take this like one by one and go like, oh, well, they couldn't have been racist because of this, and they couldn't have been this because of that, and they couldn't have been X because of Y, or they couldn't have been Y because of X. Okay, it's all of it combined. Donald Trump's first term, like it's straight up, like, and let's be honest, yes, all the politicians went against him. And you're right, all the politicians probably went against him because because he was not part of the system. That's fine. Okay, I have no problem admitting that was probably true. Okay, but that's not what we're talking about. This was not an outcry against the two-party system. You don't vote within the two-party system as an outcry against the two-party system. If you want to do an outcry against the two-party system, you would vote outside of the two-party system in order to try to recreate the mold. They voted within the two-party system, and they voted specifically as a reflex.
They went against every single politician in Republican, the voters did, because every single politician on Republican side was against Trump. So, I mean, how can you not say that's a revolt? We could have put Rubio in there, Cruz in there. The list goes on and on and on. There was a way better choice than Trump, and they voted against every single one of them. That is an outcry against the system that's been screwing Americans.
Well, then they did a really bad job because he's not outside the system. He's very much inside of the system. He is the system.
You have everyday Americans like me and you arguing over a two-party candidate. And that's it. The system's going to continue. We're going to continue to be screwed as a country. We're going to continue to be screwed. You guys had a chance. Like, you guys
you had a chance.
We screwed up with Trump. Y'all could have put Bernie in there.
No, you had the chance. You had the chance. Okay?
Okay, we took a chance with Trump, an outsider.
No,
okay.
You took the chance the first time. Okay, I straight up, I don't even like have that big of like an issue with people that voted for him the first time. He's a piece of shit, but it was like whatever. Okay, like nobody had an idea what this was going to end up with, even in 2016. Right? It was crazy, but it was nothing. Fine, you fucked up. You voted for him in 2016. Okay, you wanted an outsider, whatever. Okay, you wanted somebody that wasn't a politician. Sure, don't know how that he qualifies since he's been running for president since 2000, but whatever. Right? You wanted this. You just wanted somebody that wasn't a politician. You wanted to go against it. Whatever. Cool. Hey, whatever. I get it. Okay. This time is not that. All right. This time you had the ability to vote for things like democracy. You had the ability to vote for things like the Constitution. You had the ability to vote for things like freedom. You had the ability to vote for things like due process. You had the ability to vote for things like, humanity and civil rights and civil liberties. You had the right to vote for all of that stuff. Okay. And you chose to still vote for Donald Trump. Okay. So this has nothing to do, like what we're doing right now has nothing to do with what happened in 2016. Okay. In 2020, you watched the US president, okay, incite an insurrection against the United States. And you still voted for him.
Okay. And you're sitting here against people. What does that say how bad the Democrat Party is, right?
I don't care. I'm not a Democrat.
People rather vote for Trump. They'd rather vote for Trump.
I don't care.
Than a Democrat.
I'm not a Democrat. I don't care
about their policies. That's
sir. If you want to talk about policies, Donald Trump has none.
I'm not going to disagree with you on that. He ran about changing Obamacare, and we still haven't got anything for healthcare plan.
Kamala Harris, bad candidate, had policy. Trump, good candidate, has no policy. Copy all.
Yeah, but the policies that the left have is not policies that you're going to get conservatives to vote for.
Like what?
That's the thing. You're not going to get conservatives to vote for higher taxes.
There was no plan for higher taxes.
You're not going to. That's what they say, but the non-biased sources, if you look them up, said it would raise taxes.
They were going to raise
not gonna
taxes for the top 1% to relieve the tax burden on the lower classes.
You're not going to get people to vote for more immigration.
They weren't vote for more immigration.
You're not.
Again,
You're not going to get people to
Joe
vote for
Biden had 3 different immigration policies that would have shut down immigration. Kamala Harris had another policy, one of those policies that she wanted to freaking adopt that would have immediately shut down the border. We could have shut down the border 2 years ago. There was no policy on the left for more immigration. Literally, the left's policies would have shut down the border.
What was that policy?
The Langford bill.
The Langford bill.
Yeah. Named after Senator Langford, who's a Republican senator.
And that would have shut down the bill.
That bill was in 2023, and it would have shut down the border the day it was signed.
2024.
Maybe it was early 2020. It might have been January 2024.
Give me a second.
Yeah. It was bipartisan, had like 95 or something % support in the Senate. And all of the dissents were Democrats. All of them. Every single dissent of that bill was a Democrat for it being too strong of a bill.
Yeah.
It's insane.
The bill so far. It's not a bad bill.
Of course it was a good bill, sir. It was written by Republicans. It was a tripartisan, if you have that in this country, a tripartisan freaking bill that was written that was headed by Senator Langford. So it's called the Langford bill. And it was freaking, it was a 3-part committee of a Democrat, a Republican who was Senator Langford, and an independent who was an immigration lawyer. The day the bill was signed, it would have shut down the border.
I wonder why it didn't pass.
Easy, because the Republican senators told us. Would you like to know why? Why? Because Donald Trump called the Senate and told them if Biden gets this bill, then I can't run on immigration anymore. Okay? Because he knew it would fix the border. And so he told them not to sign the bill. Then they came out and they were like, oh, we can't sign the bill because there's Ukraine funding in it. Not mentioning the fact that they were the ones that added the Ukraine funding to the immigration bill. They also added funding for Israel to the immigration bill. And so the Democrats were like, cool, we'll just remove the funding from the immigration bill. And then they just didn't sign it anyway. Because Trump asked them not to.
Yeah, politicians playing politicians.
But regardless of, yeah, but the reason why the border wasn't shut down under Biden was because of Trump. And that bill, Kamala Harris said very specifically that that's the bill that she wanted to adopt if she became president. See, sir, you want to start naming things that's like, oh, people aren't going to vote for these left policies like open borders. The problem is the left doesn't have a policy of open borders. The right just tells you the left has a policy of open borders, and you believe it without reading the left's policies.
You got some extreme people like AOC and some of those from Democrats in like the Michigan states that do call for more open borders. I mean, your moderates and the rest of them might not, but you do have some in there.
Sir, Bush freaking tried to freaking legalize 12 million undocumented immigrants in this country.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Reagan's final speech, was very, very pro-immigration. This whole idea that somehow like Democrats are this pro-immigration policy is just historically just completely inaccurate. Historically, Democrats have been more anti-immigration and Republicans have been more pro-immigration. The reason why that is because Republicans tend to freaking be more pro-business, more capitalism, and immigrants create cheap labor, which helps business. Reagan, Bush Sr., Bush Jr., all of them, super big on immigration.
I agree with you that Republicans used to be that way, but they try to argue that they changed their tone due to Homeland Security released that report like 7-8 years ago about terrorists from foreign countries inside our country already coming through the border, and they said that's when they start taking a hard stance on closing the border.
Yeah, that stance was literally a report that was completely misfucking-read and completely propagandized.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you still got to have a secure border as a country, because I don't care what side you're on, you're going to have actors that want to hurt the countries when they try to come
Of course there are, sir, but you're making the claim that the left's policy is open borders. It's just not true. It's just simply not true.
That's interesting. I wonder if she really would have signed it if she'd have won.
Of course she would have. Biden tried to sign it. Biden begged Congress to pass that bill. Biden literally got on stage and said, Donald Trump, you're stopping this bill. I don't know why. It's what's best for America. If you have a problem with the bill, you come here and we will work on this bill together. Hell, I'll come to you. The president of the United States said he would go to Donald Trump to work on this bill if he had a problem with it, to make sure it got passed for this country. Donald Trump refused to meet with him. Do you know why?
Well, of course, he turned into a politician.
Because Donald Trump doesn't want the border to be fixed. As long as the border is fixed, then he can't scare people with needing to fix the border.
Both sides are screwed, bro.
No, not both sides are screwed. Not both sides are screwed, sir. Not both sides are screwed. The side that is listening to Donald Trump lie out of both freaking sides of his ass, okay, about what is going on. People who are not looking at the policy of what people are pushing and are just going, oh, well, Kamala Harris was just bad because she's open borders. And then I show you the bill that freaking shows that she's not. And it's just like, oh, well, she's still bad. Like, that's the side that is bad,
It's
sir.
insane.
The side is bad is the people that cannot look at things objectively. Okay? People that cannot look at what is the right thing for this country, what are the right policies for this country, okay? And then be able to push themselves towards that. People that have decided, oh, I like this person or I don't like this person, and so I'm going to fall in line with this person, or I'm going to be all against whatever this person does.
It's disingenuous to say, though, that both sides aren't bad, though, because we had 8 years of Obama.
8 years of Obama, who literally got the country right after the housing crash in the middle of a recession, and by the time he was done, had one of the most freaking amazing economies this country had since freaking in 80 years.
I'm not disagreeing that he didn't come in with a lot of issues, but he controlled the House, the Senate, and everything for the first 4 years.
Yeah.
Everything. What did they do? What did they pass? No gun laws that they run on.
They don't run on gun laws.
They don't run on AR-15s?
No, sir. Again, sir, this is what the right tells you the left runs on. This is not what the left runs on.
They do talk about banning that. Now, I know that. I literally...
Sir, when did Obama talk about banning ARs? Because I could pull up a long 5-minute video. It's great. Where Obama very, very specifically and intently expresses exactly what his stance is on gun control. And let me tell you very, very quickly, it's not he wants to take them away from you.
I'm not necessarily completely against gun control laws. I'm just saying, what did they do? What did they do when they controlled everything?
Not as much as they could have, but they did give millions of people health care.
I mean, they could have passed a bill to stop corporations from buying freaking residential houses and driving the housing crisis.
That was regulated. That was deregulated under the first Trump term.
No.
Yes.
That was regulated.
It was deregulated under the first Trump term.
Okay, cite me a source.
Okay.
Come on, help me out. Cite me a source. Cite me a source.
Oh God, what do you guys? I'll just put it up on the screen after you're gone. What do you have anything else to talk about? I don't want to say we're having a conversation. I don't want to freaking go find it right now.
No, you're good, bro.
All right, man.
Put it on the screen.
Yeah, I'll put it on the screen. Let me move on to the next person, and I'll freaking put it on the screen. So I bring it up. All right, cool. Later, man. Have a good one. That was actually a decent conversation, though. I don't mind that. W's in the chat for that caller. That was at least a decent conversation. I really do. After what I've had today, freaking, that was actually refreshing. She Game, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I really appreciate that. Just Me said, you look so over it. I think this was from the last guest. I do. It might have been this one. I'm not sure. But thank you so much, Just Me, for the $5 super chat. I really, really appreciate that. KJ said, please give my warmest regards to Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un as you conspire against the United States of America, Trump said. Dear my dearest Putin, it has been 80 since our last foray. I forgot the word I was using. Yo, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn on notifications. I really, really appreciate you guys. 80. Your beauty resonates within me. Jeffrey, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Said, callers, stop consuming all of your info from Fox News. 100%. Delissa, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. W's in chat for Delissa. Dump truck, I love the poorly educated equals MAGA brain cult. The inability to understand facts and reality equals weirdo arguments. Very, very strange arguments. Very, very strange arguments. And She Game says these callers are insane. 100%. Thank you guys so much. I did actually throw in a couple. I'm being corrected. We'll see what's up. Oh my god. Tara, thank you so much for the $30 around Venmo. Says, I so enjoy your intellect. Continue to educate those who need to be. However, I'm not sure it's doing much good, but continue doing what you're doing. Love you all. Love you and all you do. Guys, I used to say this all the time. And again, I will say this last caller, like, just is kind of the not completely like true one on that one or whatever. But for the most part, guys, I'm talking to them, but I'm talking to you guys, right? That's what this is for. This is to talk to you guys, not to talk to all of them. But thank you so much, Tara. Really appreciate that. Big W's in the chat for Tara. The big $30 over on Venmo. I really, really appreciate that. If you guys would like to support the live, thank you guys so much. I do have super chats open. Like I said, if you'd like to become a member or gift some memberships, that's always a great way to support. Also, I've been seeing a couple of the members come through, and I've kind of thrown them up on the screen as they've gone. So thank you so much for coming in and being a part of the team and helping support the live. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
Digger.
Hello, how are you?
How's it going?
It's going great. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. If I'm being honest, I'm actually just getting into politics. I'm not too educated. One thing I did realize is you are a very left-leaning, person, right?
Yes.
So one thing I noticed is again, I'm not too into politics up until recent, but one thing I did notice as a small family business, member, we had a lot of struggles during Biden's time, but during Trump's time, he was looking more after us smaller guys, and it helped out quite a bit with a lot of the tax reliefs. What do you have to say for that?
Yeah, so a lot of the tax reliefs. What tax reliefs?
So for example, PP loans and just a bunch of other
Well, I don't need just a bunch of other. I need to know what you're talking about. Okay.
I can't really quote anything directly, but I do think that I know for a fact that looking at our records, we were making a lot more money during Trump's first
of course
time in the office. And
yeah, of course you were.
What do you mean?
Well, yeah, the economy was better under Trump's first term.
Got you. Do you think that was just the time-based issue, or was that directly because of the politicians in charge?
It was directly because of politicians in charge, just the wrong politicians. See, sir, when presidents turn over, okay, all of their policies don't just go out the door and then a bunch of new policies come in. Okay. So
that's true.
So Obama got the and I just said to the last guest, okay, Obama got the economy in the middle of a recession, okay, right after the 2008 housing market crash, okay, our economy was in shambles. He built the economy back up to this amazing, super hot running economy, right? Unemployment rate super low, inflation rate down and going down every single year. unemployment going down and going down every single year, median household income up and going up, stock market up and going up. Literally every economic stat that you can have was just going crazy good. Okay?
Yeah.
And then Trump got into office. Okay? Trump didn't pass any policy, okay, when he first got into office. All right. So all of those numbers and all that stuff that's going on was just Obama policies, and Trump happened to be president, and that's great. Now, then Trump passed the TCJA, which did give slight tax cuts to middle class, about 1% to 2%, which for your average middle class family gave you about between $400 and $600 extra a year, in your taxes for in that year. And so, I guess an extra $50 a month is pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say that. But the problem was he gave huge, massive tax cuts to the super, super rich people. Okay. People in the top 1% were on the low end making like $60,000 extra that they were making from tax cuts every single year. Right. Mm-hmm. And in order to do that, what he did is he put us in massive debt. All right. $8.4 trillion in national debt during his first term. Okay. So after he did that, and what happens every single time we try this, whole idea of trickle-down economics, the economy starts to go down, and most economists had shown that we were going to go into a recession before the end of his term. All right? But then this little thing called COVID happened. Okay? And the economy shut down. Yeah. Okay? So because the economy shut down, it saved him from going into a recession. All right. But then the economy opened back up, and now everybody has to get back to work. Nothing's moving. Nothing's been working on. Nothing's been built. We had a demand for a big demand for durables, and we had shortages within that. We had no factories. We had no warehouses. The whole world was shut down, and our fuel prices were through the freaking roof, thanks to things like the OPEC Plus deal. Yeah. And inflation and everything went like shit in like the first 6-8 months of us reopening back up, which happened to be in the Biden administration, came in. And then therefore we had to start from a shitty spot of post-COVID and then bring us back down. But again, by the time Biden left office, our economy was humming again. All right. So Trump got us in a super, super good economy, left us in a bad economy. Biden got us in a really bad economy and left us in a good economy. See how it's different?
Can I ask you, a lot of the people around me are freaking out about the one big beautiful bill, but the only things I've actually looked into are the changes he made to the TCJA, and that's as far as I actually looked into it. If anything, I thought that would be great for us, small businesses and middle income earners. Why are people freaking out about the bill as a whole?
Well, the bill as a whole, it's an extension of the middle class tax cuts from the TCJA. So the same benefits, that you're getting, and under the TCJA is the same benefits you're going to be getting now. That same 1% to 2% tax cut, but it's not a tax cut now; it's just a tax extension, right? As far as corporations and stuff like that, and small businesses, yeah, there are some things that could be beneficial for small businesses in there, and that's great. I think that's awesome, but people aren't freaking out about that stuff, right? People are freaking out that between 10 and 17 million people are going to lose their health care, that people are having their food benefits ripped out of their mouths, right?
Really?
Yeah. There's huge reductions to Medicaid, right? People, disabled people that, that are, some of those vulnerable people in our country that need healthcare the most. He's using that money to try to fund your tax cuts.
Do you have any recommendations to someone like me, a 17-year-old trying to figure out, I guess, where his political stance?
Well, I didn't know you were 17, or I wouldn't be talking to you.
Do you think that's an issue?
Yeah, I can't talk to you if you're underage. Sorry, I didn't even ask on that guy. I thought I asked. I almost always ask. Did I forget to ask on that guy? I always ask. Maybe I forgot. That's fine. I do forget. Maybe I forgot on that one. I'll have to check that later. Dude, if you're still listening, my recommendation is hit that sub button, hit that follow button, follow me. Okay, and listen to what I'm saying. And my second suggestion is don't take that for granted. Go and listen to what I say, and then go research what I say to make sure that I know what I'm talking about, because I'm wrong sometimes too. Okay? So 1, hang out and listen. 2, go and actually do your own research. Don't just freaking rely on me or anybody else. Okay? That's my advice. And that's my advice for all of you guys out there too, by the way. That's my advice for all of you guys out there. Hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, hang out, see what I have to say, and then make sure I'm not lying. People are saying he said he was 30 something. All right, so maybe he did lie. I'm usually pretty good. That's like a natural flow reaction when I speak. That's weird. Nancy, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. I really appreciate that. Say you're one of the best creators. Appreciate your lives and what you do. Nancy, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. That is a very sweet thing to say. That really. Tara's saying he said he was 18. I'm hearing other people say he was 34. I'm gonna have to rewatch the video later to see what he said. That's totally fine. All right, we're gonna keep this thing moving. Taurus, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships over there. Make sure you guys throw a big W in the chat if you got one of those memberships from Taurus over there. Taurus, thank you so much for coming through on that. That is absolutely amazing. I really, really appreciate that. That is very sweet. And D said sent the $5 over on Venmo. Said babysitting kids. Yeah, not on purpose. Not on purpose. All right, I try to weed him out. Sad enough, he was like probably the nicest guest I had tonight. That's the most annoying thing. The $5 Hello? Said kids. Yeah, not on purpose. Hello, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good. Just let you know, whoever you are, kid, whoever you're out there, that was a very respectful conversation. Come back when you're older, an adult. And then come back.
Oh, no, this is someone else.
Shh. I'm not talking to you. Hold on. Come back when you're older. We'll have a political conversation and hang out for a while until then, okay? Y'all, if you guys would like to support, please make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. Turn those notifications. I really appreciate you. What's going on, caller?
Hi. So I'm not really here to debate.
Hold on. First off, how old are you?
I am 28.
All right. Can you hold 1 second?
Yes.
All right, sorry about that. I had to. I'm not sorry about that.
You okay?
My kid wanted a good night kiss, so I wouldn't give my kid a good night kiss before she goes to sleep.
Oh.
Anyway, so do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
And how did you?
Kind of. I'm trying to get your point of view on why the blue party is better. I'm not great with politics, but I'm trying to understand who I want to vote for in the future and who I want to support.
Who you want to vote for in the future? Why people saying age? She said 28. She said 28. I heard her.
Yep, I've never voted.
Oh wait, how old are you?
I am 28.
Okay, that's what I thought she said. She said 28. Yep. We're good. We're good.
Yeah.
All right. So you know what? Fine. I'm in a good mood. Why not? Why you should support someone on the left? Is that what your question?
Correct.
Yeah, easy. You're a woman.
Yes.
And a woman that I assume appreciates having the rights over her own body.
Correct.
Well, the right doesn't want you to have those rights. And the left wants you to have those rights. And okay. I mean, we can go into a lot of subjects, but if I was you, I'll tell you straight up, from the get-go, okay? I'm not a woman. Okay? But I am raising a young woman. And that is probably the biggest reason for me. Right there. It's not even for specifically me, it's for her,
Exactly. So what is your views on obviously I guess I can figure it out. What was your view on Biden and Kamala Harris?
I think they had an overall successful presidency. They made mistakes just like every other presidency has.
Right, exactly. I 100% agree. And like I said, I'm not actually sure if I'm left or right. I'm just trying to learn more about it because I don't want to make a judgment on something I don't know completely.
Yeah, and like I said, one of the best ways to learn, like I tell people, and like I told that young man after he got off, and while you were kind of on the line, the best way to learn is I tell you hang out, listen, freaking, get some information in, and then do your research on top. Kind of use like a live like mine to kind of to point you in the direction of where you should go research yourself. right?
Exactly.
You don't want to take these things as just completely factual, right? Because y'all don't know me. I could be just up here lying. I might just be the world's best liar. You know what I'm saying? I make it sound so good. I even bring up data. It's all my data is fake and all that sort of stuff, right? Like you don't know
Right.
that, right? Like you listen, you understand what I'm talking about. I usually give sources and all that sort of stuff, and then you go and research yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And learn how to research. Don't forget, learn how to research, right? Not all things you can find and look up are factual, but learn how to research, how to find good information on online, stuff like that. Fact check, make sure your sources are backed and that you're going for primary sources and all that sort of stuff, and then do your own research. I think that's a great way to do it.
I agree.
Yeah.
To me, it's almost like religion. Like you wouldn't just start believing in something you don't understand. It's it's like.
Well, that's a really
Yeah,
bad
yeah.
example because most people in religion don't
Yeah.
understand what they believe. But that's,
Yeah, exactly. No,
that's a bad
it should
example.
be that way. But it should be that way. You shouldn't believe in something that you don't know about. It's like, and that's a lot of people in politics, I feel like, too.
Yep, absolutely. But thanks for coming up. I'm going to move on to the next caller, but I really hope you have a wonderful evening, all right?
Thank you. You too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bye.
I don't know. I'm in a good mood today, guys. I think it's because I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it was the tennis. I'm like in a good mood or something today. I do have a little bit of a headache. I meant to earlier fake hit myself in the head with the microphone, and I actually got myself one, and I kind of have a little headache now. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of got myself there. Hello. How are you?
I'm good. Sorry about the background the last time.
Oh, you're good. How old are you?
I'm 26.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
No, I do not.
All right. Well, we're getting all the people that don't support Trump. I'll give you a minute. What's on your mind?
Well, you know what? I've seen your lives a couple of times. Also, get some updates through, doing my own little research with Midas Touch. They've been covering mostly everything that is happening around the White House.
Mm-hmm.
And I was listening to what you were saying about Russia and the rest of them, because I think that one guy didn't know, but Russia, India, North Korea, and they're forming BRICS in China. Then we recently had Putin in Alaska, and Trump just rolled out the red carpet for him, which was weird.
Yes.
I think that he
Thank
might
you so
not
much,
be
Flower. I
bad in
appreciate
all.
that.
He might not be bad in all aspects, but standing up, he has to be able to, stand up for us as well. Then I heard from another viewer about Biden. Biden was sending help to Ukraine, but we weren't allowed to get in the midst of that because Ukraine isn't what, independent? Not independent. What's the word?
Sovereign.
Yeah, sovereign. They don't, like Switzerland. They don't get involved in wars and stuff like that.
Well, Switzerland's sovereign and neutral, but that's a whole different.
Yeah,
that's a whole
they're
different thing,
neutral.
man.
That's where I was going. They're a neutral country.
Yeah. But hey, man, I am
can't
going to
get
move on
involved
because
in
I am
that.
looking for some Trump supporters right now. But I did want to hear what you had to say. But I am going to have to move on. But I do really appreciate you. All right.
Yeah, I appreciate you as
Yeah,
well.
man.
I'm subscribed.
All right, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Oh, don't you gotta tell people to like just people sometimes people get nervous, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you guys, I think I sometimes forget how nervous people sometimes get and stuff like that because it's like I don't know. I guess I've just been doing this for too long. So it's just kind of natural for me, I guess, at this point. I don't know. Because I'm old. Oh, well, that person's gone. You're a friendly. And this person's named In Patriarchy, so I'm pretty sure you're a friendly. Why is that not showing up? Oh, because they haven't loaded in all the way. All right, y'all, if you voted for Trump and you'd like to come up and have a conversation, I really appreciate you guys. I am only looking for Trump supporters right now because I have had, well, kind of some, we'll call them like half friendlies. Well, last guy was a friendly. Then we've had some like kind of half friendlies before that too. So, see if we can get some more in right now. D paid. Thank you so much for the $5 in super chat. So can we talk about the Orange calling the Vix who spoke about the? Oh, I'll be honest with you. Hello. I'll be honest with you. I turned that on this morning and it was just depressing.
Insane.
And so I had to turn it off. I have to rewatch it all tomorrow, which I plan to do. But it was just, I can only listen to so much of that stuff, and it just really gets me down, to be completely honest with you. So I listened to a bit, I stopped, then I listened to it a bit, then I had to stop, and then I went back to it, and then it just got stopped. And I'm like, I need to do this like on a fresh. Hold on, man. I have to do this on like a fresh, a fresh head. If you guys know what I'm saying. So I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Anyways, hello. How old are you?
Well, I'm 42.
Awesome. You support Trump?
Of course.
All right. That's a weird response to have.
It's not, because if you just think about it a little bit, you're gonna support Trump as well.
No, it's not that you support Trump. I mean, that's weird. Okay, but like whatever. But your response of like, of course, why would you of course support any president?
Well, of course,
no matter who they
Trump.
are.
No, but this is about Trump, 100%.
Oh, so you're just a bootlicker.
No, it's not about bootlicking. I mean,
yeah, it is.
I can tell you just like the same thing I put in the chat 2 minutes ago. There's only one reason and this one reason should have unconditional support for Trump. I have 2 daughters, and to see that Trump removed men from women's sports and bathrooms is enough. You don't have to get into anything else. That in and of itself is unconditional.
Yeah, awesome. So what's stopping a man from walking into a woman's bathroom right now?
Well, right now, Planet Fitness allows men to go into the women's bathrooms.
What is stopping a man from walking in to a woman's bathroom right now?
I don't understand the question. I mean, of
yeah.
course, a man can go into the bathroom physically, but he's not.
Hold on. You said that Donald Trump removed men from women's bathrooms. Okay.
And sports.
And I'm asking you. Okay. I'm asking you, what's stopping a man from going into a woman's bathroom right
now? So you're saying that Trump didn't make that change? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just asking you a simple question, sir.
Yeah, well, if I walk into Planet Fitness, men are allowed to go into the women's locker room, and that's a Planet Fitness rule. But certain areas, I'm in Florida, for example. Well, I don't think Florida's going to like that too much. There's probably statutes and civil code that prohibits men in women's spaces. We'd have to get down to the nitty gritty of every single state and county rule. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, he removed him from sports, and he signed an executive order, last I heard. And along with that is, bathrooms. And
yeah, so
no one in their right mind would want to support
I totally understand you, sir, and I totally understand, and I would love to get into his executive order and how literally it did almost nothing. But I would really like you to answer my question of what's stopping any man right now from going into a woman's restroom.
What's stopping any man from going into a women's restroom? I mean, if I walk into a women's restroom, normal women are going to yell at me and scream at me and say, "What the hell am I doing?" and make a ruckus about it.
And okay. And so what if there was nobody in there to make a ruckus?
We're getting into hypotheticals. I mean,
no, sir, we're getting into reality right now. Like, okay, let me explain it to you, okay? And maybe I'll make this a little easier, okay? The correct answer is absolutely fucking nothing. Yeah, absolutely nothing is stopping a man from walking into a woman's restroom, okay? There never was anything stopping a man from walking into a woman's restroom, and Donald Trump has done nothing to change that whatsoever, okay? It has nothing to do with that, okay? What it does do, okay? Well, first of all, his entire thing on sports. Do you know how many? And this is from what's the name of that? website, but it's a very actually like anti trans website, and they did a study to find out how many trans kids they could find that were playing sports in middle and high school. Do you know how many they found?
One is too many.
Do you know how many they found?
I don't know the statistic off the top of my head, no, but if there's more than one.
No, don't give me this more than one, sir. So you're saying, okay, if Donald Trump's executive order affected one person, you think that was a good and effectual use of the president's time?
I mean, I'm looking at an article right now from February.
I am asking.
Trump rescinds transgender bathroom rules from the Obama era.
Yeah, totally cool. So what you're saying is that the president, if he made a rule that affected one human being of the 365 million people in this country, that is a good use of the government's time.
That's a good use of the government's time. This is why he got voted.
Sir, I'm not asking why he got voted. I'm asking you a very simple question. You're having a hard time answering my questions, and I'm having to repeat myself bunch of times.
If it benefits one person, it's absolutely
no, it didn't benefit anyone. It hasn't shown that any of these kids that were transgender actually hurt a singular person, okay? Or that they were negatively affecting a singular person. I asked you how many people, trans kids between the 18 middle school and high school, could the anti-trans people find in all of America?
Anti-trans people? Where are you getting this from?
I can pull up the website. Oh,
no one's anti-trans.
Yes, they are. There's tons of people that are anti-trans people. Sir, just because you don't want that doesn't mean that anti-trans people don't exist. What are you talking about?
This is like when people pull the racism
that's
card.
fine. You just go ahead and be quiet because you're refusing to answer questions. So you're not being an active participant in this conversation.
No, I'll go ahead and answer your question.
How many kids did they find between middle and high school?
I don't know.
Okay, the correct answer is 5. How many people were playing in the entire NCAA were playing that were trans?
I don't know.
The correct answer is 10. Okay. So of 15 kids, 15 people in the entire United States, that's what you're worried about. People that are not affecting you, people that have committed no crime, people that have hurt no one. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And they are affecting you. While
I
at
have
the
daughters
same time,
and they're going to school.
While at the same
and it
time,
trickles down. When you start letting one, then it expands, and that's how they started.
So if
complacency.
if that's
and once
the case,
everyone's complacent, then they start little by little getting it and getting. No, you have to
100%, sir. So you would also be 100% for banning the church in this country.
What does that have to do with the other?
Oh, because there have literally been tens of thousands of sexual assaults over the last 2 decades, specifically from clergy people, from church staff, from preachers, from deacons, from all of those type of people that are literally sexually assaulting and freaking and hurting children in this country. Okay. And since you said only one, if they even do one, okay, if there's even one possibility, then you think that all of them should be banned. So all 15 of those people should be banned, even though they hurt no one, even though there's a possibility, then you should totally 100% be okay.
Hurt someone. You know as good as I do that the one guy was playing volleyball and the volleyball hit the girl in the face.
So sir, have you never been to a volleyball game?
Well, she got knocked out, and it was a male.
Sir, I've watched a girl knock a girl out with a volleyball. Should we ban girls from girl sports?
So you're advocating for the man that was in the sport.
Should we ban girls from girl sports?
You're going to die on this hill, and that's why the Democrats are losing.
Sir, I'm not a
Democrat. You don't have a leg to stand on with this argument.
I'm not a Democrat, and I'm schooling you in this argument. That's why you're refusing to answer questions. So we should ban the church because even one is too many, right?
Banning the churches. So when you say churches, are you only going after Catholic churches?
No. What are you talking about? There's thousands that in Protestant churches and Baptist
Muslim,
churches.
There's Jewish.
Yeah, let's ban them all.
So you want no religion? You want everything gone.
I'm okay. I'm okay with the free practice of religion, but you said if even one person is being hurt, then we need to ban the whole thing. If even one person is being hurt, you should ban the whole thing. So all I'm asking you to do is if you're going to get up and freaking stand 10 toes down on that argument, then I'm just asking you to stand 10 toes down on the argument. It's not hard. You know what? How about
it's illogical. What you're saying is illogical.
Why is it illogical?
The normal that we always had women's sports and men's sports. That's the way it's been.
It's
and that's the way it should be. And you can't
Did you not
argue
play
against
co-ed
that.
sports in school at any point? Because I did.
Did you know that there's no NFL and it doesn't exist for the women? There's no women's football.
Are women banned from the NFL?
There's no women jumping up trying to get on the NFL team.
Actually, there actually are women that have been desperately trying to get on NFL teams. They haven't made the team yet.
There's not women that are trying to go into the men's bathrooms. But if you look
at what are you
doing
doing in the bathroom?
If you're looking at
Sir,
high
what
school,
are you doing in the bathroom?
Me personally? What am I doing in the bathroom?
Yeah, because it sounds like you're trying to do a lot of nefarious stuff in bathrooms.
No, when you go to the bathroom, you obviously expose yourself to the toilet. And if there's a woman in the bathroom, and there's obviously you see what's happened with the jails when they put men in the women's jails. How did that happen? How the women suddenly get pregnant? Well, same thing's going to happen. If these people
sir, if I don't need
identify
if I need to explain
as
to you
a
why
woman and they're a man, they've got something wrong in their head.
That is the most that is the most.
Second of all, they're going into a bathroom.
Stop.
And
that is the most
they're
ridiculous comparison. Okay. No, see what I hear whenever people like you. Okay. Whenever people like you are like, we got to keep them out of the women's bathroom. All I hear in my head when you say that, okay, is you saying if I got to go into the women's bathroom, then I would do bad stuff to women. So therefore, if trans people want to go into the bathroom, then obviously they want to do bad stuff to women. Okay, like that's all I can hear. That's all I can hear is that you're saying that if you were in a woman's bathroom, you would hurt women.
Man is going into a women's bathroom, it's for a nefarious purpose because he shouldn't be there.
If a person who identifies as a woman is going into the bathroom of the
it doesn't exist. There's only two sexes.
Well,
man
sir,
and
I'm
woman.
sorry.
And again, this is why Trump is one, and you guys don't have a leader.
What?
It doesn't matter what party
you think you identify with.
What's that?
What psychology school did you go to?
I didn't go to any psychology school. I know what you're getting at. You want me to say something about
No, I'm just saying, since you're telling me
blah.
that there's only two genders, and since multiple genders have existed throughout the entire history of the United States and the entire history of the world, okay? How many genders are there in Judaism?
In Judaism?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not Jewish.
You know Judaism, that religion that Jesus studied? Well, how many genders are there in that?
There's only two genders.
There's 8.
That's it. No,
there's 8. Oh, well, you're gonna have to argue with Jesus then, okay? Because Jesus was Jewish, and since he was Jewish, he believed in Jewish scripture, which teaches that there's 8 genders. So
I'm gonna mark the calendar and see that you're not going to be relevant within 12 months. You think you're going to be the next Joe Rogan, and you're absolutely not going to be.
You're not relevant right now. You're an insignificant being currently. Okay.
You're funny. All right, fair enough.
Yeah. That wasn't meant to be funny, sir.
I called your podcast because I wanted to hear. I was expecting to hear something a little bit more intelligent. But when you don't have a leg to stand on, this is kind of the hyperbole that you're spitting at.
Yeah, gotcha, sir.
It's kind of interesting. I never would have thought that you would have gone down these paths.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean,
sir, it doesn't sound like you spend much time thinking.
You don't have to think.
Yeah, obviously.
What's right.
Obviously, you have.
Very simple.
Obviously, you haven't. Obviously, you haven't spent too much time
sport.
thinking. That is the first thing you said. That's actually makes sense, sir. Sir, I get it. I get it. You think that if you would go to sir? No, I'm not being condescending. I'm being
by
mean.
talking loud and condescending. You think that you automatically win, and just
no. I don't know, sir. I won by explaining to you all sorts of stuff that you couldn't answer and have no clue. Now I'm just freaking talking down to you, okay? Because you're just a bad person. The argument's already over because you refuse to engage in the conversation.
No.
Now I'm just letting you know how bad of a person you are.
Are going into women's
Yeah. So what I'm going to go ahead and say is, just like I said before, when trans people go to the bathroom, they go to the bathroom to use the bathroom, to pee, go number 2, whatever they have to do in that situation. They don't go in there to hurt people. And just the fact that you think, okay, that if people are going into the bathroom to hurt people, that means that you, in your head, want to hurt people, okay? Because the problem in this country is you, right? Because cis men, okay, account for like 99, cis straight men, yep, no one can hear you, but that's totally fine. Cisgender straight men account for 99% of the sexual assaults in this country. Not trans people. So I have every right for my daughter to be a lot more afraid of you, okay, than any trans person. I would rather her be in a bathroom full of trans people than to be in a freaking room with even a single person that sounds like you, okay? Hell, I don't want her in a crowded room with someone that sounds like you, okay? Because you're the danger.
So I'm the danger. But what about what women want? There's women that don't want men in their bathrooms and exposing themselves just to change. He could just be wanting to change his pants.
Are you just walking into the bathroom exposing yourself? I'm sorry. Are you going into the bathroom and just exposing yourself?
If a man is changing his clothes,
I'm sorry.
If I'm in the locker room, I'm going to see your dingling. In a bathroom, in the locker room, we see each other's dinglings all the time in high school.
Women, I'm
and
sorry.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Are there not stalls in women's bathrooms now?
That's how they do it. But in locker rooms, I'm talking about. Come
Guys,
on, buddy.
You've been saying bathrooms, not locker rooms. Don't try. So, ladies, I'm sorry. It's been a while since I took, since I've been in a women's bathroom for any reason. I don't know why I would be in there. But last time I checked, I'm pretty sure there's stalls in there, right? Yeah. And so you have these stalls you go into, and you go into the bathroom. You go into those stalls to do that. But maybe they've taken down all the walls and doors of the stall. Maybe that's a new development. I haven't been in any of the bathrooms. Okay, I haven't been in any of those bathrooms, whatever. But oh, I'm not listening to a single word you're saying. I actually have you muted because you're disgusting. No, you don't. Okay. I actually have you muted because you're disgusting. You're a disgusting human being.
I haven't said anything rude.
You've switched it from bathrooms to locker rooms because you were losing the bathroom argument so
it's the
bad.
Same.
No, it's not. Sir, have you been in has every single bathroom you've been in been a locker room?
Bathrooms,
has every
rooms,
bathroom
when we talk about sports,
has every bathroom? No, sir, it's a yes or no question.
There's a toilet inside of the locker room.
All right, sir. So this guy doesn't know. Toilets. This guy doesn't know the difference between a bathroom and a locker room. Completely confused. Apparently, he goes to Walmart to use the locker room.
If you go to the airport,
okay?
There's a bathroom.
Oh my goodness, this guy is bad. It's so freaking sad, dude. This dude goes in. So this is what this guy does when he goes into a bathroom. He walks into a bathroom. Don't be near a bathroom with that guy, okay? Because that guy is going to walk into your local Walmart bathroom. As soon as he goes in, he just spreads them. Drops the pants, spreads them. Okay? If he has to go like number 2, straight on the center of the floor.
Insane.
Straight on the center of the floor. And he makes eye contact with you while he does it. He's like this. Just in the middle. There's a stall right there, but he's like. He just stares at you. And he goes, "There better not be any women in this bathroom watching me do this." It's fucking weird, dude. It's fucking weird. The fact that people like him want to genital check people is fucking weird as shit. It's so strange. Anyways, Penny, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate that. It says for a migraine, headache or migraine, you take peppermint essential oil, put it on your thumb, rub it on the roof of your mouth, and it'll ease the migraine. That's a good one. I need to get some essential oils. I've never really gotten to the essential oils thing. Let me check that out. Thank you so much, though. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you. It's very sweet. Limitless Toaster said, I don't necessarily agree, but I am all for debates. Oh yeah. Well, we just have some fun over here. We just we just have fun over here. I appreciate you. Except for that guy. That guy's not fun. That guy's just not a good person. Megan said, how are we still confused about how washrooms work? P.S. Did you like my sticker submission? Did I miss? I didn't see it. I'll go look. I didn't see it. L's in the chat for Megan. Big L's in the chat for Megan. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Megan. Kate said, went camping this weekend as I was exiting a woman's bathroom. An attendant let a man in because the men was being cleaned. I didn't yell or care. Well, you know what? How dare you? Okay? How dare you? You're supposed to care. Be angry. Okay? This is supposed, according to that guy, you should be incredibly bothered by it. Okay? Be more angry. That's, according to him, your fault. You should live in fear like he does. All right? That's what's important. You should need to live in fear just like he does. All right? Kate says, funny it's never women in men's bathrooms. That's why. Because all of it is fear of what they would do in a woman's bathroom. That's all it is. It's self-projection. Okay? That's why they've never left the United States. If they went to a place like Europe and actually had like, all right, cool. Sorry, I got a little disconnection in there. My stuff was disconnecting, so sorry, I didn't want to talk for a second. Radstorm said, what about trans men? Hairy men in femme restroom. Bro, what about hairy women in women's restrooms? What about it? What about not hairy men in men's bathrooms? Why are you looking so hard at people's body hair in the bathroom? Just wondering. Mixed Media said, dude, I don't know how you can tolerate dealing with these people day in and day out, but thank you for pushing back on their incessant BS. Thank you so much. Lots of practice. Definitely a learned trait. I'll tell you that much. Lots of practice. And Jeffrey, thank you so much for the happy poop jewels. I really, really appreciate that. All right, y'all. I think we're gonna call it a night on that one. I think that's a pretty good night. We're gonna call it a night. I will be back on 7 p.m. tomorrow. So I'll see you guys then. Make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, all that fun stuff. I will see you guys tomorrow. If I get really bored in the morning, I might come on and bullshit with you guys early too. We'll see what's up. I don't know. I'm off tomorrow, so I'm just be busy doing stuff. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hope you guys all have a wonderful night. I love you guys, all right? See you guys later. Bye.